Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, how does the rebirth of Jesus at Christmas impact your life? Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, have you ever wondered about the deeper meaning of Christmas beyond the celebrations and traditions? For those chosen by God, Christmas is more than a holiday. It is a profound reminder of Jesus' rebirth and God's promise of salvation. It is a call to reflect on your divine purpose, to renew your spirit, and to embrace the mission He has prepared for you. How does the story of Jesus' birth inspire you to step into your calling? What role does this sacred season play in your journey of faith? Stay with us as we explore these questions and uncover the transformative power of Christmas. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, have you ever paused to wonder why your heart feels a deep pull towards something greater, something beyond the ordinary? The calling of the chosen is not random but deliberate, a divine selection that places you at the center of God's redemptive plan. Being chosen is both an honor and a responsibility, a purpose woven into the fabric of your very existence. Have you felt this call stirring in your soul? How do you recognize its signs in your own life? Imagine a shepherd tending to their flock. Among the sheep, there are a few that seem to wander toward the distant hills, drawn by an unseen force. The shepherd does not chastise them but carefully guides them, knowing they are destined for a unique purpose. You, beloved believers, are like those sheep. God's gentle hand guides you toward a mission that only you can fulfill. What mission has He placed in your heart? The chosen ones are marked by unmistakable signs: a profound connection to God, moments of divine revelation through dreams or visions, and the ability to inspire others to draw closer to Him. These signs are like stars in the night sky, guiding you toward your purpose. Like Joseph, who was given prophetic dreams, the chosen are equipped with spiritual tools to navigate their journey. Have you experienced such moments of clarity or divine insight? How did they shape your path? Yet, this calling is not without its challenges. To be chosen is to be set apart, often feeling misunderstood or out of place in a world that does not share your vision. Picture a seed buried deep in the soil, hidden and seemingly forgotten. But within that seed lies the potential for a mighty tree, one that will provide shade and nourishment to many. The time spent in silence, in waiting, is not wasted but essential for growth. Beloved believers, do you feel hidden or overlooked? How can you embrace this season of preparation with faith? The Bible is rich with stories of the chosen, each illustrating the power of God's purpose. Consider Mary, a humble young woman called to bear the Savior of the world. Her response to the angel Gabriel, "Let it be to me according to your word," is a model of trust and surrender. Like Mary, the chosen must accept their calling with courage, knowing that God's plans are greater than their own. What would it look like for you to say yes to God's purpose today? But being chosen is not only about individual transformation. It is about impacting others. The chosen ones are beacons of hope, reflecting God's light to a world often shrouded in darkness. Imagine a single candle in a vast, dark room. Its light, though small, dispels the shadows and offers comfort to those nearby. This is your role, beloved believers, to be a light in the darkness, guiding others toward God's love. Who in your life is waiting for your light to shine? How can you reflect God's love to them? As we reflect on the meaning of being chosen, let us remember that it is not about perfection but willingness. God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. He sees your potential even when you feel unworthy. He equips you with the strength and wisdom needed to fulfill your mission. Beloved believers, how will you step into this calling? Are you ready to trust in His plan for your life? Stay with us as we journey deeper into the story of Christmas, exploring the challenges and preparation that come with being chosen. The best is yet to come, beloved believers, for those who trust in the gentle guidance of God's hand. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, the path of the chosen is seldom an easy one. To be called by God is to be refined, shaped, and prepared for a divine mission. Yet this preparation often comes through trials, challenges, and moments of profound uncertainty. Have you felt the weight of this journey? Do you wonder why the road you walk seems so steep? Imagine a blacksmith working on a piece of iron. The metal is heated until it glows, hammered into shape, and plunged into water to harden. This process, though intense, transforms the raw material into a tool of great purpose. Similarly, the trials you face are God's way of refining you, molding you into the vessel He needs for His mission. Do you see God's hand at work in your challenges, beloved believers? How have these experiences strengthened your faith? The Bible offers countless examples of this process. Consider Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned unjustly. To the outside world, his life may have seemed like a series of misfortunes. Yet, through every trial, God was preparing him to save nations during a time of famine. Like Joseph, your trials are not meaningless. They are stepping stones to your divine purpose. Beloved believers, what trials in your life might be God's way of preparing you for something greater? Even Jesus faced immense challenges in his mission. He was tempted in the wilderness, rejected by his own people, and endured unimaginable suffering. Yet through it all, he remained steadfast, trusting in the Father's plan. His journey reminds us that challenges are not a sign of abandonment, but of divine preparation. How can you draw strength from Jesus' example in your own moments of trial? The challenges of the chosen are not only external, but also internal. Doubts creep in, whispers of inadequacy, and fear that question your ability to fulfill God's calling. Picture a traveler standing before a vast mountain, overwhelmed by its size, unsure of how to begin the climb. But with each step, the journey becomes clearer, and the summit draws closer. This is the journey of faith, one step at a time, trusting that God is guiding your every move. Beloved believers, what doubts are holding you back today? Will you take the first step, trusting that God will provide the strength you need? Preparation also involves learning to listen to God's voice in the silence. In a world filled with noise and distraction, it is easy to miss the gentle whispers of the Spirit. Imagine a seedling growing in the darkness of the soil, its roots reaching for unseen water. In the same way, you are called to grow in the quiet moments, drawing strength from God's word and prayer. When was the last time you truly listened in the silence, beloved believers? What might God be speaking to you in these moments? This season of preparation is not a punishment, but a gift. It is a time to deepen your faith, to build resilience, and to align your heart with God's purpose. Like a potter shaping clay, God is carefully crafting you into the person you were created to be. Beloved believers, how will you embrace this season of preparation? Will you trust the potter's hands, even when the shaping feels uncomfortable? As we continue this journey, let us remember that the challenges we face are not the end of the story, but the beginning of something extraordinary. God's plan is always unfolding, even when we cannot see the full picture. What will you do with this time of preparation, beloved believers? Will you lean into it with faith and hope, knowing that God is at work? Stay with us as we explore the promise of rebirth that Christmas brings, a reminder of God's faithfulness and the hope that sustains us through every trial. The best is yet to come, beloved believers, for those who endure with faith and courage. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, Christmas is far more than a season of lights and celebrations. It is a divine reminder of God's faithfulness, a promise of renewal and salvation for His chosen ones. In the quiet of Bethlehem, beneath the glow of a single star, the Savior of the world was born, bringing hope to a weary world. What does the story of Jesus' birth mean to you, beloved believers? How does it speak to your heart today? Picture a cold, silent night where the world slumbers in darkness, unaware that the greatest miracle is unfolding in a humble manger. This is the essence of Christmas. God's light piercing the deepest darkness, His promise fulfilled in the most unexpected way. For the chosen, it is a call to remember that no matter how heavy the trials or how distant the answers may seem, God's plan is always at work. Beloved believers, can you see His light shining through your own moments of darkness? The birth of Jesus is not just an event from history, it is a living promise of rebirth for each of us. Just as the infant Christ brought hope to shepherds and kings, His presence brings hope to the chosen ones today. When life feels overwhelming, Christmas reminds us that God's faithfulness never wavers. Like the star that guided the Magi, His light continues to guide us toward His purpose. Have you felt this guiding light in your life, beloved believers? How has it shaped your journey? The story of Jesus' birth also speaks to God's ability to use the humble and unexpected to fulfill His plan. A stable became the birthplace of the King of Kings, and shepherds became the first to witness His glory. This is a powerful reminder that God's promises are not bound by worldly standards. No matter how insignificant you may feel, He can use your life to achieve extraordinary things. Beloved believers, do you trust that God can work through you, even when you feel unworthy? Christmas is a season of renewal, a time to let go of the burdens of the past and embrace the transformation God offers. Imagine a frozen river beginning to thaw, its icy surface giving way to flowing, life-giving waters. This is what Christmas invites us to do, to release fear, pain, and doubt, and to allow God's grace to renew our hearts. Beloved believers, what burdens are you ready to release this season? How will you let God's promise of rebirth transform your life? The birth of Christ also assures us of God's presence, even in life's most difficult moments. When the chosen ones face trials, they can find comfort in knowing that the same God who sent His Son into the world walks with them through every valley. His promise is clear: I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is the hope of Christmas, that no matter how dark the night, God's light is always with us. Beloved believers, how does this promise bring you peace in your current struggles? As we celebrate the rebirth of Jesus, let us remember that His coming is an invitation to step into a new relationship with God. It is a call to trust in His promises, to embrace the hope of renewal, and to live with courage and faith. What will you do with this promise, beloved believers? How will you let the light of Christmas guide your steps? Stay with us as we move into the next chapter, exploring how Christmas calls us to action and transformation, equipping us to fulfill our divine mission. The best is yet to come, beloved believers, for those who trust in the power of rebirth and the promise of God's love. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, Christmas is not only a time to reflect on God's promises, but also a season of transformation. It is a call to action, an invitation to step into your divine purpose with renewed faith and courage. The birth of Christ reminds us that renewal is not passive. It requires us to let go of the past, embrace God's grace, and move forward in faith. What does renewal mean to you, beloved believers? How can this season inspire you to take action? Imagine a tree in the depths of winter, its branches bare and seemingly lifeless. Yet beneath the surface, unseen to the world, it is preparing for spring. This is the renewal that Christmas brings, a quiet yet powerful transformation that prepares the chosen ones for the work ahead. It is a time to shed the weight of old fears, doubts, and failures, and to trust that God is doing a new thing in your life. What burdens are you ready to release, beloved believers? How will you allow God to renew your heart this Christmas? Renewal leads to action. Just as the shepherds, upon hearing the angel's message, hurried to see the newborn king, so must the chosen respond to God's call with urgency. This is not the time to hesitate or delay. The signs are clear, the mission is urgent, and God's light is guiding your way. What steps can you take today to align your life with God's purpose? Are you ready to act on the calling He has placed in your heart? The story of Christmas teaches us that every action, no matter how small, can be part of God's greater plan. The Magi followed a star, carrying gifts that symbolized Christ's kingship, sacrifice, and divinity. The shepherds shared the news of His birth, spreading joy and hope to all who would listen. Like them, you are called to act, to serve, to give, and to share the love of Christ with the world. Beloved believers, how will you let your actions reflect God's love this season? Who in your life needs to experience the light of Christ through you? This call to action also requires courage. The path of the chosen is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the waves crashing at your feet. To move forward, you must step into the water, trusting that God will guide you to the other side. This is the faith of the chosen, to act even when the outcome is uncertain, to trust that God's promises are true. Beloved believers, what step of faith is God asking you to take today? Are you ready to move forward, trusting in His guidance? Renewal and action are also about partnership with God. Like a potter shaping clay, God works with you, molding you into the person He created you to be. But the clay must be pliable, willing to be shaped. This Christmas, allow yourself to be open to God's work in your life. Surrender your plans, your fears, and your doubts, and let Him guide you. What areas of your life are you holding onto too tightly, beloved believers? How can you surrender them to God's hands? Finally, Christmas calls the chosen ones to inspire others through their actions. Your life is a testimony, a reflection of God's love and faithfulness. When you serve, forgive, and love, you become a beacon of hope, drawing others toward Him. Imagine a single candle lighting another, then another, until the entire room is filled with light. This is the power of your actions. They have the potential to transform not only your life but the lives of those around you. Beloved believers, whose life can you light up this Christmas with your love and kindness? As we embrace the renewal and call to action that Christmas brings, let us remember that our efforts are not in vain. Every step of faith, every act of love, and every moment of courage is part of God's greater plan. What will you do with this call, beloved believers? How will you let the message of Christmas move you to action? Stay with us as we explore the final chapter, the ultimate mission and role of the chosen ones to spread God's love, hope, and salvation in a world that desperately needs it. The best is yet to come, beloved believers, for those who act with faith and live out the promise of Christmas. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, Christmas is not the end of the story. It is the beginning. It is the moment when God's light entered the world to guide His chosen ones toward their mission of spreading love, hope, and salvation. To be chosen is to carry a divine responsibility, to reflect the life of Christ through your actions, and to serve as a beacon of His mercy and grace. What does this mission mean to you, beloved believers? How are you living out God's purpose in your life? Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on a rocky shore, its beam cutting through the darkness, guiding lost ships to safety. This is your role as one of God's chosen, to be a light in the midst of the world's chaos, pointing others toward His truth. Your mission is not only to speak of God's love, but to live it, embodying His compassion and kindness in every interaction. Who in your life needs the light of hope this season? How can you shine God's love into their darkness? The chosen ones are called to serve, to give, and to intercede for others. Like Jesus, who came not to be served but to serve, your mission requires humility and a heart willing to put others first. Picture a cup being poured out, its contents bringing life and refreshment to those in need. This is the life of the chosen, a life poured out in service to God and His people. What opportunities do you have to serve others this Christmas, beloved believers? How can you be a vessel of God's love and grace? This mission also involves standing firm against spiritual opposition. The chosen ones are often targets of doubt, fear, and distraction. Yet, Revelation assures us that God equips His chosen with everything they need to overcome. Like a soldier clad in armor, you are called to wield the weapons of prayer, faith, and God's word to resist the darkness and walk boldly in the light. Beloved believers, are you ready to stand firm in your faith, even when the challenges feel overwhelming? Your mission is also one of reconciliation and healing. Just as Christ came to bridge the gap between humanity and God, you are called to build bridges of peace in a divided world. Imagine a broken bridge being rebuilt, its structure strong and stable, reconnecting two sides that were once separated. This is your calling, to mend broken relationships, to forgive, and to bring unity where there is division. Beloved believers, where in your life is God calling you to be a peacemaker? How can you bring His love to heal wounds and restore relationships? Finally, the chosen ones are called to share their story, a testimony of God's faithfulness and the transformation He has brought into their lives. Your story is unique, a reflection of His power and grace. When you share it, you inspire others to seek Him, to trust in His promises, and to step into their own calling. Picture a ripple spreading across a still lake, one small act creating waves that reach far beyond what you can see. What part of your story could inspire someone else, beloved believers? How can you use your experiences to glorify God and encourage others? Christmas is a reminder that the mission of the chosen is ongoing. Just as the shepherds spread the good news of Christ's birth, and the Magi journeyed far to honor him, you are called to actively participate in God's plan. The work is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding, for every step brings you closer to fulfilling your divine purpose. Beloved believers, how will you respond to this call? What steps will you take to live out your mission today? As we close this journey, remember that you are never alone in your mission. God is with you, equipping and guiding you every step of the way. His light shines through you, illuminating a path for others to follow. Beloved believers, what will you do with this light? How will you let it transform not only your life but the lives of those around you? We invite you to join us on this journey by connecting with our YouTube channel, The Anointed. Subscribe, like this message, and share it with others who need encouragement and hope. Let us grow together as God's chosen ones, living out His mission and spreading His love to the world. Beloved believers, the best is yet to come, for those who embrace their mission and trust in God's unfailing plan. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, the story of Christmas is more than a celebration. It is a call to embrace God's promises, renew your spirit, and live out your divine mission. The birth of Jesus reminds us that light always overcomes darkness, that hope triumphs over despair, and that God's love is unshakable. For the chosen, Christmas is an invitation to reflect on your purpose, trust in God's guidance, and act with faith and courage. What does this story mean to you, beloved believers? How will you let it inspire your journey forward? The message of Christmas is clear. You are not alone. God has chosen you, equipped you, and walks beside you every step of the way. Like the shepherds and the Magi, you are called to carry the light of Christ into the world, sharing His love and hope with those around you. Imagine the ripple effect of your faith, a single light spreading to illuminate countless lives. Who will you inspire this season, beloved believers? How will you let God's love shine through you? As we conclude this journey, let us commit to living as God's chosen ones, reflecting His grace in every action and every word. This Christmas, let's step boldly into our calling, trusting that the best is yet to come. Beloved believers, are you ready to accept this mission? If so, type "I am chosen" in the comments as a declaration of your faith and commitment. We invite you to continue this journey with us on YouTube, The Anointed. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring messages and reflections on living as God's chosen ones. Like this video, share it with others who need encouragement, and join our growing community of faith. Together, we can spread the light of Christ and walk confidently into the future He has prepared. What has this message stirred in your heart, beloved believers? Share your thoughts and testimony in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. The story of Christmas is a reminder that God's promises are true. His love is everlasting, and His plans for you are good. Trust in Him, embrace your calling, and let the light of Christ guide your steps. Beloved believers, the mission is clear, the time is now, and the best is yet to come. Will you join us in spreading the hope and love of Christmas to a world that so desperately needs it?